Hello and welcome. I called the channel the Jungle Nook, and how this all started out was I wanted to transform my home into my own little tropical paradise using lush house plants and freshwater aquariums. And I started the channel out so I could document for myself and for my friends and family and whoever else was interested, let everybody see what I'm doing here and see the progression as to how everything's moving along. And what has happened is, especially over the last 2 months, I've seen a lot of interest in the channel. And now it's got me thinking that this really could become an actual YouTube channel. And I'm really happy with all the support and everything that I've been getting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make the channel a little bit better. I'm going to try to put out a few more videos than usual. And I am aware that not everybody is interested in both the houseplants and the aquariums. So I'm going to start making videos that are more specific to one or the other. And I'm going to try to have the pictures and the thumbnails and the titles a little more descriptive, or just try to make them in such a way so you'll know that this is a plant video or an aquatic video. So a couple months ago, I made a video called Tropical Houseplants Tips and Tricks. And I put that together by request from some of my viewers who were curious how I care for so many plants and keep them all so nice and healthy. And also, it was noticed that my plants went through quite a growth spurt last winter, and they were curious how I was able to do that as well. So I put a video together, Tropical Houseplants Tips and Tricks, where I talked about quite a few different topics, a whole variety of things on what I do here. And that video really took off quite well, and I ended up needing to make a separate video or another video, which I called the same thing, Tropical Houseplants Tips and Tricks, Episode 2. And I talked about pretty much all the same things I did in the first one, but I went into greater detail and I added a few more topics into that. And after that, I made one that was specifically on watering, and then the last one was on the winter growing season and how I continue my plants growing in the winter. I know that we're taught to reduce the amount of water we give our plants and to stop giving them fertilizer in the winter because they grow slower. And yes, the temperature is cooler in our house. There is less hours of natural daylight available, and the humidity level will go down as well for most of us in the winter. But for myself, from personal experience, from what I used to do and what I see friends and family doing, a lot of us are actually so worried about overwatering that we are slightly underwatering, maybe going a little too long in between waterings or not giving enough. And when you're doing that and then winter comes and you reduce the amount of water even further, the reason that a lot of our plants are slowing in growth or actually stop growing isn't because they're going dormant, because most tropical plants don't go dormant in the winter. We're actually reducing the water and creating somewhat of drought-like conditions for our plants, and that's what's causing such a dramatic decrease in the growth and overall health in the winter. And I talked about that quite a bit, not only in the watering video, but also in the winter growing season video as well. So I just rewatched all of those videos, all 4 of them in this series, and now what I'm going to start doing is making some very specific videos, topic specific videos. And the next one, which will be coming out really soon, is going to be on root rot. Now, I did go through YouTube and I was looking at a lot of different videos, and I kind of found a pattern which I can understand why I see what I see. And what that is that most of these videos are focusing on how to identify root rot, how to treat it, and how to prevent it from reoccurring, which all of those things will be in my video on root rot. But what I didn't see much of, although I did come across a couple of great ones, is a discussion about what root rot actually is. And root rot really is a symptom of something else. And it's usually pathogens, which are fungal or bacterial in nature, that are able to infect the roots. Now, there's really no reason for us to be concerned or wondering if we have these pathogens in our soil, because we do. These pathogens are everywhere. They're in all soil, in every habitat, in every environment, including in our pots, in our homes. Also, there really isn't any concern really about how to remove them, because you're really not going to be able to get rid of them completely or to prevent them from returning. That's a battle that you're not going to win. Instead, what I'm going to do in my video is talk about these pathogens and what we are doing or not doing to cause these infections in the first place. Because these plants are in our care, and it really is, it's us, the caregivers, that are causing these infections that can kill our plants. The plants actually have evolved over time to coexist right alongside all of these different pathogens. But they've developed strategies and methods to prevent these pathogens from entering the root structure and to fight them off if they do happen to become infected. With the amount of plants that I have, and the fact that I do water my plants nearly every single day, I'm most likely, and I would assume that most of yous who have houseplants have had plants that have become infected by these pathogens, but never even knew it, because the plant was healthy enough to fight the infection off, because they do have immune systems very similar to ours, and a mild infection, a healthy plant, can fight them off, and we may never even know that it had occurred. It's when they get a massive infection, or the plant has a compromised immune system, or there's some issue that is happening with the plant or within the soil, maybe poor drainage. That's what is causing the conditions that the plant gets a massive infection, and that's how root rot can take hold. And I'm going to discuss all these different things in that video. I think you're going to be surprised in some of the stuff that I let you know about. Also, a video that will be coming out pretty quick right after that. Well, it will either be on large leaf propagation, on how you can propagate plants so that not only are they pumping out really large leaves right to start, but how you can increase the speed at which they continue to grow and have nice large foliage. But I gotta do a video here because I am in need of some up potting. Some of my plants need to be up potted, and I think a winter up potting video where I actually show how I up pot in the winter will be a great follow-up video to the winter growing season video. It is okay and safe, it's appropriate and sometimes necessary to up pot in the winter if you do it correctly. And I will talk about all of that and actually show what I'm doing and how I do that. One big thing about winter up potting is if you are reducing the amount of water you're giving your plants in the winter, and then you uppot it, you're going to have a greater volume of soil now in that pot for the plant, and the plant's going to have a lot more real estate to be able to grow and fill in. And it's going to want to do that and try to do that. And there's more soil, which requires more water for adequate hydration. That's a big reason why winter uppotting fails. There's other reasons too, and I will discuss all of them in my winter uppotting video. So I'm going to be trying to keep these videos separate, the house plants and the aquatic videos. I've already done a couple of videos that in the title it said a day at the Nook. So when you see a day at the Nook in a title for a video, those are going to continue to be what they already were, which is when I have a couple of small projects that really aren't worthy of their own individual video, and I just do a couple of small aquatic projects all at one time in one video. I'll keep doing that because that's what I was already doing, and I'm trying to figure out a way to make another series where I might call it Plant Talks, or I also might call it Coffee and Friends, the perfect blend. I'm thinking Coffee and Friends, the perfect blend, because it's actually in the morning before I go to work that I usually water my plants and spend the most time with them before I go to work, and it's when I'm having my coffee. So I was kind of thinking that, or Plant Talks. But I thought that would be a way to help my subscribers and the viewers who are watching multiple videos, to kind of help them distinguish which are the plant videos and which are the aquatic videos. I will be continuing to do both because they're huge parts of just what I enjoy. They're my two main hobbies. So I do want to thank everybody for all of the comments, the great comments that I've been getting. When I first started this out, I wasn't really sure if I wanted the comments on or not. I do know other YouTubers that, they've turned theirs off because of all of the negative comments and stuff that they got. And it's just not healthy to be reading all that negativity. I really haven't gotten none of that. On the contrary, all of your guys' comments are motivating me to really work on this channel even more. And I get questions, and now those questions do a bunch of different things for me. They make me learn, and they also let me know what to include in future videos and how to improve my videos in the future. So thank you to everybody for all of the wonderful and amazing comments. I don't even know how to describe to you how much I appreciate that. Totally unexpected. All this interaction and how positive it is. Thank you very much for that. So this video was basically a plant room video, I guess, update. And I will be, actually, one of my next videos will either be the root rot video, or it's going to be a fish room fish room tour update video, because I have a lot of small projects that I need to get moving on there as well. But again, thank you, and I hope you all continue watching. And I no longer view this as my channel. This is our channel, and I really appreciate that, and I'm real happy about that. So again, thank you everybody.